The tragic end of Sid Vicious, an unfortunate accident. In the annals of rock and roll, few stories are as tragic and poignant as the end of Sid Vicious's career. Known as the infamous bassist of the Sex Pistols, Vicious's life was a tumultuous whirlwind of fame, scandal, and substance abuse. His career, which was marked by a brief but explosive impact on punk rock, came to a jarring halt due to an accident that remains a somber chapter in music history. Sid Vicious, born John Simon Ricci, burst onto the punk scene in the mid-1970s as the bass player for the Sex Pistols. His raw energy, rebellious persona, and chaotic lifestyle made him both a symbol of punk's defiance and a tabloid sensation. Despite his limited musical skills, Vicious's presence was magnetic, and he quickly became one of the most talked-about figures in rock music. However, Vicious's rise to fame was marred by controversy and personal struggles. His tumultuous relationship with Nancy Spungen, a fellow punk icon, and his notorious drug abuse painted a picture of a man living on the edge. The Sex Pistols' disintegration in 1978 only compounded Vicious's problems, leaving him to navigate the chaos of fame without the anchor of his band. The end of Vicious's brief career came abruptly on February 2, 1979. The night was meant to be a celebration. Vicious had just been released on bail after being charged with the murder of Nancy Spungen. He was at a party at the Chelsea Hotel in New York City, where the atmosphere was a mix of relief and lingering tension. During the party, Vicious reportedly had a few drinks and some heroin, a combination that was perilous given his history of drug use. At around 1 a.m., he attempted to leave the party with a group of friends. The conditions were far from ideal, the weather was harsh, and Vicious was in a frail state. His physical and mental health had deteriorated significantly, exacerbated by his substance abuse. As Vicious and his companions exited the Chelsea Hotel, a tragic accident occurred. In a state of disorientation, Vicious stumbled and fell onto a nearby street. Witnesses later reported that he was found lying unconscious with severe injuries. The accident resulted in critical head trauma, compounded by the severe effects of his drug use. Emergency services arrived quickly, but Vicious's condition was dire. He was rushed to the hospital, where doctors fought to save him. Despite their best efforts, Vicious succumbed to his injuries later that day. The official cause of death was listed as a combination of trauma and the effects of his drug use, underscoring the dangers that had haunted him throughout his life. Sid Vicious's death was a grim end to a turbulent life. His career, which had been marked by both brilliance and chaos, was abruptly cut short by an accident that seemed almost symbolic of his existence and unpredictable, tragic, and unavoidable fate. His death elicited a mixture of sadness and reflection from Fa.